So something happened after my trip my wife and I went to Cancun, the land cruise. And I was very elated after a week of rampage and positive things. And then we had some contrast. A family member called and there was some negativity. So the contrast seemed very opposite to the end of the stick we were at emotionally.
We're going to hear you out. We want you to tell your whole story. We just want to insert something briefly here. Wouldn't it be nice if it had been longer than a week of being on this end of the stick, so much so that when that call came, it didn't change this? You still heard it, but you were compassionate like your inner being is, meaning you heard it, you understood it, it just didn't change your vibrational mix.
And you reminded me, because it has happened.
You didn't empathize with what was going on. You held your own vibrational knowing and knowledge and well-being, and that happened. It just didn't affect you vibrationally. So
it happened now. So now I'm at that point.
You're at the point of
that kind of contrast, not.
So
I'm at that point now.
Then why did you bring the other up? Why did you take us back to that horrible experience?
Because something happened.
All right.
Positive then. The contrast brought me into a situation. So we were on the way home on a flight.
So the contrast made you make a stronger choice. We've been living this is what we want.
Exactly.
And?
Exactly. It was, you had given us the book, Getting into the Vortex, as a gift.
Yeah.
So I was feeling, some of the elation from the rampage, and the contrast was like right there.
Yeah.
And I opened the Getting into the Vortex book, and I looked under relationships, and something happened. And this is the question I want to ask, because it was a feeling of elation, of confidence, knowing.
You merged completely. So there you were. And that happened. And when that happened, it increased your desire to be there and stay there. And then you were inspired to an action that caused it to even be stronger. That's what we were talking about. All the things on this end of the stick began lining up for you in a strong way, which just put you there. So what you saw was something that just clicked you into place in a stronger way. How would you describe?
But what I saw also when I was reading, what happened was, and I know I don't have a neurological imbalance because that happened in 2016, the words started vibrating off the page. There was vibration. I didn't see the words anymore. And after that feeling of elation, of knowing, of complete certainty, just like I did.
So when we said, wouldn't it be nice if you spent enough time on a vibration of alignment that when something happened that had the potential of taking you out of alignment, it didn't? That's what you lived, isn't it?
Yes.
You had a choice, but you were secure there. And then the next thought led you to an impulse to read something. And those words, which of everything that we've written, the most attention was given by us to the perfection of vibrational accuracy of every word in conjunction with every other word. What's in that book is vibrationally accurate to the laws of the universe. Now, your inspiration to open it and your ability through inspiration to turn right to what you were not asking for, what you were knowing. You were knowing it, and that's why it rippled through you in that powerful way. What you experienced is what we want you to experience relative to all things. That's how the great ideas come. So there's a question in there?
It's about, I guess, that experience I had, there was a little doubt in my mind about what I had seen. Was there some, if I said it to a doctor, there was some doubt, is there a neurological imbalance for seeing that? But I guess it's the question of contrast.
Well, here we are, you're asking.
Right, infinite intelligence, exactly.
What we were about to say is, you're asking someone who is asking you all to take the sticks and reality of your current life and just set them aside and daydream. We're asking you to sort of let go of all things that all doctors call neurological balanced. We're asking you to kind of let go of that for a minute and go to where the true love and appreciation and invincibility and passion and power is.
I agree.
And while You want to do baby steps, and we're not opposed to that. In other words, we don't mind it when you work your way up the emotional scale. But you make the point that we're really wanting to make here. You immersed yourself in a long enough period of time of pure positive energy to the point that it really took hold with your natural nature, and you were there. So much so that when life kept coming to you, as it will, you were in a different place of preparation. And just to make sure you were there, you had a confirming experience to let you know you were there. Yeah.
Very true. Very true.
Yeah, really.
I did have an experience with the doctor recently where I was in a crappy mood. I had some tests to do. My wife was with me.
So you're on this end of the stick.
And they said, take him to the emergency ward at the Mass General. So all these doctors, they start putting these things on me and were testing my heart and everything. And there were these residents, and one doctor came in. She was the head doctor, and she was on this computer. And she said, so how do you feel? She says, I feel fabulous. What better place to be than if there's a problem with me? So she said, you're going to be okay. And we waited and waited and waited. And then another doctor, the head doctor, came in and said, I don't understand why this doctor sent you in. You're fine. Go home. So I applied that with the doctor.
So this is yet another analogy of, so you're over here, but you're in the circumstances that usually take you over there, but you weren't over there, you were over here, and then the circumstances had to line up with where you were.
Exactly.
You hear it?
Exactly.
But the question that we want to put to you, because this stuff feels like magic to you once you really get there and you start applying it, because all things move to give you what you want. But this is the one distinction that we want to help you to make it with us here. We want you to hang around over here because it feels good, not because it's magic. But it's magic. But we want you to hang around over here because it feels good, not because it does things that defy human logic, but it does defy human logic. We want you to hang around over here because this is where you belong. This is where your true power is. This is the true nature of your being. This is who you are. We want you to hang around here because it feels good to you to be over here where you are, not because it's magic, but it's magic. We want you to get your priorities straight because in the beginning, you won't see the magic. You got to hang around in it for a while before it starts having enough power that it moves things in a way that you can feel your own power. And if you're looking for the results of the magic right away, then you don't let it go long enough. You see what we're getting at? You don't let yourself get into the groove of it long enough that you begin to then understand your true power. You're invincible. When we say to you, you may be or do or have anything that you choose, that sounds like a pipe dream to most. Most of you want to challenge that because there are things you know for sure that you want that don't seem like they've been coming about. So we have to find some way of separating you from those things that you've decided don't work and get you connected with those things that will work. And as enough things do work, in time you will then accept your invincibility.
And you can't talk about it to people because they look at you like you're crazy.
Well, you know what though? We've made real headway in this room today. Don't you feel different right now than you did a little while ago? Don't you feel more sure? We're not going to be a week together like we were in Cancun, but we're long enough together. And because of the insistence of where we hold the vibrational pitch, and because your inner beings, without exception, are right here with us, then there is a significant emphasis on this end of the stick for you, which means things that you've been living are going to be different than they were. And if you notice them, as you notice them, then it's like that book experience for you. Then more comes and more comes and more comes and more comes. You understand it theoretically, we know you do. And on a practical basis, life will show itself to you in a way that you'll be able to acknowledge it. Because in many cases, you know, you do believe that you came from non-physical and that you are pure positive energy from that standpoint. You do. You are right now in this moment acknowledging that the law of attraction is a real thing and that good things are supposed to happen for you. But where you're wobbling a little bit is you're not certain of your ability to apply. You're not sure of your ability to focus yourself into these results. We're sure of it. You're not quite sure. And so as we're sure of it and you're not quite sure, and we're sure of it and you're not quite sure, then we just keep having another conversation that sort of shores it up, and then your own personal life experience will demonstrate it to you. We'd like to put it to you in this way: as you watch Esther, Esther's been receiving for us for a long time, and her words come swiftly and without hesitation until we are on a subject of absolute newness, in which case she's feeling her way. And as she's been feeling her way today, you've been feeling your way as well. And then have you felt us break out into the clearing again? And then reestablish that place? That's what being on the leading edge always feels like. The status quo, or what is, will always challenge the leading edge, because what is interesting. But if you shift your priorities and you don't let what is be so interesting, same old with your relatives, that bad news that you got, same old. That's the same old story. You just heard it in a different way. And so, same old is regurgitating life. You're not a regurgitator, you're a creator. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.